Okay, good morning everyone. For to the previous session, we are discussing till to the start of conditional statements. In the conditional statements also, we are discussing some types of if else, and if else, like the multi conditions when you have the only two conditions, or else you have only single conditions, or else you have the multi condition. How can you check it? We are executed in a programmatic way also, and also explaining also, right? Today we are start with the nested if condition. How can we implement it, and what is the scenario when we are dealing with this? Okay, suppose first nested if is nothing but you are writing one if condition in a block. Here block is nothing but what the statements you are writing in between one open curly brace to the close curly brace. Okay, this we are calling as a block. So like the way here, if you are writing or using the one if way of syntax inside of one if condition, or else if condition, or else condition, okay, or else condition, all okay, fine. Right, all we are calling it as nested if conditions. Why it will help to you is because in some scenarios you are executing some task on a particular condition, but when the particular condition meets also, you have to check some unnecessary conditions or necessary conditions inside of the condition true. Suppose imagine a logic of you want to check, we have a three numbers. In the three numbers you have to check which one is greater. Okay, in a three numbers you want to check which one is greater. Suppose if you have the only two numbers a and b, then you can easily define with a single if and else. But if you have the three numbers a, b and c, okay, a, b, c, if you have the three numbers, how can you tell it, right? Suppose if you have only two, then you can easily write one if condition. If a greater than b, then if it true, if this condition true means a is greater, else b is greater. But here you have another scenario of what the case if you have the three. Okay, what the case if you have the three numbers, you have to find the amongst. This can be performed by using the else if also, but in a scenario, what if you are using the nested if? Suppose this condition true means what will be happen? If a greater than b means a is greater than b. That means if you have a greatest among a and c, right? If this condition true means we are not confirmly tell that a is greater among the three, but it has a chance a becomes the greatest, right? Then what have to check? If a greater than c, right? Why you are checking this? If this condition true means a is greater than b, but we are not assured that a is greater than c or not, right? We are not assured that a is greater than c or not. So further scenario you can write, or you have to check another condition. If a greater than c, then a is greater, you can print like a is greater, then only you can define a is greater, right? In a programming you have to check every case. What you are doing here, one if you are writing another if, right? In one side of one if you are writing another if. Same you can write use another else also. Why? Because else also. Why? Because suppose this condition true means what you can conclude. If this condition true means what you can conclude, b is not greater. B is not greater. The greater lies between a and c, right? Suppose take the example of 10 comma 20 comma 5. Okay, which is among the greater? B is, suppose b value is 20, b is among the greater, right? Or else we can take the A scenario. Okay, A is among the greater. First you are checking between the A and B. First you are checking between the A and B. 20 greater than 10. This condition true, right? Then by this condition true means you are concluding one thing. B is not greater. That means A is greater than B means the greater lies between A and C. The greater lies between A and C. By this statement you can conclude only one thing. The thing is A is greater than B. You can't conclude A is greater than C, or else B is greater than C also you not conclude. Suppose my C value is 5. If this condition true means you can conclude that B is greater than C. Not right. Why? Because you are checking only for the greatest among A and B. So by this condition you can only conclude A and B, but you are not conclude AC relation. By this condition you only conclude the AB relation. This condition true means A is greater than B. You have to check only one thing, A is greater than C or not. Why? Because if this is true only, you can confidently tell that A is greater among the three. If this condition is also false, okay, if this condition is also false, that means you can conclude C is greater. Suppose this condition is false, okay, suppose this condition is false, then you can conclude C is greater. How can I conclude? Suppose C is greater, I can conclude, but by that, if A is greater than C, that means this condition fails means A is not greater than C, right? A is not greater than C. If A is not greater than C means C is greater among the three. How can I tell that is? Because A is already greater than B. A is already greater than B. If C is also greater than A means, then you can easily conclude that it is greatest among the all. Easily understand the thing. Suppose I have a 25. Okay, I have a 25. In a case, A is greater than B. This condition is true, right? So it is true. Here this condition is false. False. By this you can conclude C is greater among the three. You can ask like we are not comparing any relation between B and C, but we are implicitly comparing A and B. If this condition true means A is already greater than B, you can check A is greater than C or not, then you can conclude it, right? C is greater among the three or not. So you are implicitly comparing C with B. You are not directly comparing B and C. You have to understand the nested conditions. You have to check with that. Okay, right? This is the scenario of the nested case. We can execute here. Okay, I can create
smallest value and B is the highest value. In comparing between two.
Yeah. Suppose B is highest. Sorry, B is smallest. Com dot day 5.
A value, B value, C value కన్నా B value పెద్దగా ఉంది. Comparing between two numbers A least ఉంటుంది.
Suppose I can create another package for the day 5. In the day 5 I can create a class. Go to the new Java file, class. When I creating a classes or the packages, you can carefully observe that, then only you can understand, right? Class name is suppose nested if. Okay. In this I have to create one main method. Okay. In this main method, suppose I can take the numbers. You have to read dynamically, but I am taking the compile type declaration. Okay. If A greater than B. Okay. Suppose forget about this. forget about this. You want to check in the two numbers which one is greater, right? Which one is greater? You can use simply this greater than operator. By this statement you can conclude that which one is greater, right? Suppose this way this statement is true, means this system is true, means A is greater, right? Suppose you have the only two numbers, else B is greater, right? If this condition is true, A is greater. If this condition is false, B is greater. If two numbers is there, then you can easily define that. Suppose in a scenario you have another number of int C equals to 30. You have to check among the three which one is greater, right? Suppose by this you can comparing the two things, A and B. By using this you can conclude that if you are comparing this by this statement, you can conclude one thing: among the two only one is greater. Okay, that means you are finding the relation between A and B. In a same scenario, if this condition is true, take A as your favorite. Always A has to be a greater. Okay, A has to be a greater. Take it as a in your favor. Okay, in a scenario A greater than B, this condition true means, suppose you want to tell confidently A is greater among the three, what is you have to check? You have to check one thing: A is also greater than C or not, right? Right or wrong? Right. Suppose by this statement you can conclude that A is greater than B, but you want to tell A is greater among the three, then you have to check with the C also. So here you can check with if A greater than C. If A greater than C means, A is greater. Else C is greater, right? Why? Because, but you are not comparing anything with the B and C relation, but you can conclude directly C is greater. How can you conclude? Why? Because if this condition true means A is already greater than B. If A is already greater than B, C is also greater than A means implicitly C is greater than B, right? You are checking this. So by this you can conclude that C is greater, right? Okay, fine. In a scenario, fine. What the case if A is not greater than B? Suppose if this condition is true, A is greater than B. 40. Okay, I am taking the A value as 40, B value as 20, C value as 30. 40 greater than 20. This condition is true, right? And 40 greater than 30. This condition is also true. So A is greater among the three, I can conclude. Fine. Suppose my A is here, my C is here 50. Suppose my C is here 50, then 40 greater than 20. This condition is true. This condition is false. Then it will print C is greater. Fine. But in the scenario, here it is 50. Here it is 10. This condition is false, right? This condition is false. That means A is not greater than B. Fine. That means greater lies between B and C, right? Then in the else condition, what you have to check? In the else condition, B has to become, suppose B has to become greater, then you have to check the relation between B and C, right? Then if this condition is true, then you can conclude B is greater among the three. Else C is greater. You can go with the any C is greater. Fine? Clear? This is the way you have to check normally. Suppose you have another number of a int d equals to 23. Okay? You want to check among the 4 numbers. Then what you have to do? By this statement you can conclude that A is greater than B. A is greater than B, fine. But you have to check another 3. A is greater than C, A is greater than D. You can write another else if condition here to check what you have to check in the else if. You have to check. By this you can tell A is also greater than C, but you have to check also A is greater than D. Then only you can print. What is the thing? A is greater than all. Okay? You have to tell A is greater than C or not, A is greater than D or. Okay? You can do it in a multiple ways. Okay? You do this in a multiple ways. This is nested if example. That's it all. How can we write the nested if and what is the purpose of the nested ifs? You have to be check. In some scenarios, what will be the issue is, suppose taking the real world example, suppose you are shopping the items. In some scenarios, what they can do is, first they can check for applicable of the some extra offers. First they can check with the subscription. If the subscription have, then he can applicable with a different discount. If it has no subscription, then he are applicable with a different offer, like that. When they have a nested if or nested conditions, you have to be check. In that scenario, you have to be go like this way. Nested if is simply you are writing one if or if block of statements under another if block of statements. That is, we are calling it as a nested if condition. Okay, this is simple. You have to be understand how it will be flow. Okay, the brace is something. Okay, from this open brace to this open brace, entire thing will be one block. Okay, this entire thing will be one block. In the else block, you are writing all the thing. In the Java, braces are the important thing. You have to be figure out. Clear? Fine. This is about the nested if. The same simple you have to be find. The same program, find among the 3 which one is greatest. You can do it in another way also, without nested if. How can you do that is, you can use the else if condition. Okay, suppose if A greater than B, if A greater than B and A greater than C, then only you can conclude A is greater among the 3, right? Fine. If the above condition is false, means the greater lies between B and C, right? If this condition fails, means what you can conclude, A is not greater, then greater lies between B and C. So you can easily compare B and C. Then B is greater, else C is the greater. This also you can do. But why I am tell the above one is because how the nested if will be performed. That is the whole way. So okay, this is the way you can write any program in a multiple ways with the according to the logic. But Always you have to prepare with the easy way and the easy of syntax. According to the scenario, you have to be done. I hope nested if is clear to you. Okay? I can run this. If I run this, I have to write something. A is greater. The same way. B is greater. Same way. C is greater. Fine. I can run this. What are the values I can give her? 40, 50, 10. Which one is greater? B, right? So it has to be printed 2 times B is greater. Why? Because one I am using the nested if type, another I am using a normal if else. So it has to be print 2 times B is greater. B is greater 2 times. Why 2 times is because this is 1 time, above 1 is 1 time. So for that purpose, okay. Suppose you can change with the any values like a 30 and 50. Then it has to be print C is greater. C is greater, right? This is the way nested if statements can be executed. Clear? Right. Next, we can check with the switch cases. Switch is the keyword. Switch is the keyword. Here I am using the capital S, not the small s. Why? Because small s switch is a keyword, you are not allowed to use as a class name. Okay? Switch and one main method, public static void main string args, and okay. Switch case is nothing but based on a one constant expression value, it has to be perform or execute cases. Like nothing but suppose you have a variable of int a, okay, int a equals to 1, something, one variable is there, okay, you can read a value. Normally you all know the weekdays, right? Weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like that, 7 days. Every day with a one value. Suppose Sunday with start with a 0, Monday with 1, Saturday with 2. That means like in the order of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Based on a value, it has to be execute one or print some value. Suppose if I enter a value as 0, it has to be print Sunday. If I enter 1, then it has to be print Monday. If I enter 2, it has to be print Tuesday. That means only based on one expression value, it has to be execute some cases. Here not condition. Based on one value, it has to be execute the cases. How can you do that is using switch. Here you have to pass the expression what you have to be based on the value. Okay. Here I am passing the a. That means based on the a value, case 1. Here using the case 1 or the 0. Okay. Case 0 as okay. Suppose Sunday, start with the Sunday. And every block or the every case must end with the break. Okay. If you are not mention the break, what will be happen? I will tell to you. Okay. Case 0. It was a break statement. It was based on one value. Based on one value, it has to be execute the task. Okay. if a value is 0, execute this case. If a value is 1, execute another case. Suppose Control C. Case values must be unique. Suppose if you are using 0, next again you are not allowed to use the 0. Here I can use the Monday. Okay. In the same way, Control C. If I use the case 1 again, it will throw an error. Why? Because duplicate cases not allowed. Then it was a Tuesday. Like that you can write for the all the 7. Suppose beyond 7 it will execute anything. Suppose beyond 7 till to the case 7 you can understand. That means case 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Till to the 6 you can complete it with the Saturday. Right? After that one default case you can write. Default is nothing but, suppose above condition not meets, above conditions not meets, then default case will be execute. In the default case you can print like enter a number between 0 to 7 or 0 to 6. Okay. Why? Because you have the only cases for the case 6 till to the case 6. I am not write that till to the case 6, but in a normal scenario you have to write for the till to the Saturday, then you have to declare for the till to case 6. Okay. If I run this it will print the Monday as the output. Monday as an output, right? Suppose if I change the value of case A to the 8, okay, then again I'll run Java, enter a number between 0 to 6. Why? Because above cases not meets. If I am entering the 6 also it will print like that. Why? Because I am not write the case 6, but you have to be right till to the cases. Why? Because you have to have the some cases like that. Suppose if I not mention the break here, okay, imagine a case I am not mention the break, then here I can give the value of 0. Okay, Control S. I'll run this. What it print? Sunday, Monday. Why? But I am giving the case of only 0, but it will execute the case 1 also. Why? Because you are not mentioning the break here. So if you are not mentioning the break, that means till to the break finds, your switch block will be execute. Till to the break find, your switch block will be execute. So for that purpose, every case must be end with a break statement. This is a loop breaking statement, we are calling it as. We have some statements of loop control statements that are break, continue and the go to. Break is nothing but you have to be terminate a loop in between of execution. Break will help to you. So break is the statement to come out from a loop of the statement. Switch is like a loop, so you have to be come out. For that you are using the break. After this block means you are not only using the only a single line, you can use the multiple lines. Okay, here I am just showing the example how the case will be executed. You can write anything, you can write the n number of statements here, but at the end of a case you have to be write a break. This is like a case block, but we are not braces any braces here, but it is a one case block. It is like a syntax in a switch. Okay, you are allowed to use integers here, strings here, characters here. You are not allowed to use decimals. Suppose if I place like a 0.1, it will throw an error. Why? Because case values must be an integer or strings or a characters. You are not allowed to use decimals. Okay, only you have to be use integers or a strings. You can use a char. Okay, here you can use a not directly. Okay, you can allow to use like this the characters, or you can use the string. String must be in a double quotes. Okay, but you are not declaring any string, right? So because of that, so you are allowed to use characters and the integers as a case values, only single thing. Okay, must you have to be declared. Here a and a same, so ch, you can use this ch here. Like the way you can print anything. Suppose there is a task like this, you have to enter a value. Based on the value you have to print the month. Okay, based on a value you have to print the month. Suppose 0 means January, 1 means, or suppose 1 means January, 2 means February, 3 means March, 4 means April. Then what you have to be do? You have to be write 12 cases and read the integers or a characters, anything based on your interest. Then you can write one default case. If you are not write the default case also, it will be fine. But if you are not write default case in a scenario what the condition not meets, what the value you are not what the value you are passing other than the case values, then it will be a issue. So for that scenario you have to be use the default case. Okay, this is about the switch case. Switch case is nothing but like a multiple if conditions you are checking, but you have to be execute a particular task based on a value which you are passing to the switch, based on a value which you are passing to the switch. Okay, this is the switch case purpose. These are the conditional statements we have. If else, if nested if, that means multi if, and nested if, switch case. These are the conditional statements we have. Clear? Okay, fine. Now we can discuss one looping statement. Conditional statements and control flow statement we are calling it as. Here we are calling it as the control flow statements. Looping statements are control flow statements or looping statements, which are nothing but we have mainly multiple looping statements. Okay, looping statements we have. One was while loop, for loop, and you have do while, and also we have one thing of for each loop. For each loop is nothing but based on a, it was one we are calling it as for in or for each. For each is different, for in is different. I think for in loop is nothing but we are traversing based on elements. We are using this at the time of corrections a lot. Okay, it works on arrays, objects, arrays and objects. It works on arrays and objects. Firstly, why the looping statements required? When you are learning a topic, you have to be question yourself why you are learning and when you have to be use that and how you can use. Okay, why you are using the looping statement? Because suppose you want to execute a task for a number of times. Suppose I have a statement of hello world, I have to be print 10 times. The same statement I have to be print 10 times. Normally what you can do, you can write the same print statement for the 10 times. Okay, fine, it was a countable statement, 10 times you can print it. Suppose you want to print the same thing for the 100 times, same line but 100 times, you have to be write 100 lines of code, right? By that what you can do, you are wastage of the space and code writing also by lengthy. So what you have to use, instead of the writing for the 100 times the same task, you are using looping to execute the some particular block of statements for the multiple times. Execute a particular block of task, execute a block of statements multiple times. Okay, we'll do one thing. Today we'll discuss one loop. Okay, in the next session we'll discuss the remaining loops. Okay, today we can go with the which loop we can go? Okay, we can go with the for loop. For loop will be executed based on the iteration. For loop execute based on a iteration count. Okay, for loop. First syntax of the for loop is for initialization semicolon condition semicolon increment or decrement, everything will require, and you can write a block of statements here. This is the syntax, normal syntax. In before I am telling like that one thing of you have to be print a particular statement for the 10 times, right? You want to print a particular statement from the 10 times. What you have to do, suppose I want to print a hello for the 10 times. Hello for the 10 times. Then what you have to be do, you have to be write in a system.out.println. Okay, in a print statement you have to be write the hello, right? Hello you have to be write in a print statement, you have to be simply place it in the for loop. You have to be place it in the for loop. Fine. We can directly execute and you can find it. Okay. The main, what you have to do, you have to be print hello for the 10 times. Okay, hello a statement for the 10 times. Then what you have to write, you have to be write it for the 10 times, but by that what you can increase the code length and also the code efficiency. Okay, efficiency needs to be always the greater. So what you have to be do, you have to be use the looping, any loop. Here I am simply use the for loop. In the for loop, first thing, initialization is nothing but you have to be initialize a variable count. Okay, for loop executes based on iteration count. iteration is nothing but, suppose one time the loop will be run, we are calling it as one iteration. Another time it will run, it will be called as another iteration. Like the iteration is nothing but how many times it will be execute the some particular task. Here the task is we has to be print hello, right? Declaration. Suppose I am taking the variable of int I equals to one variable. You can declare with any value. Suppose I can declare with a 0. Okay, I can declare with a 0 semicolon. Here you have to be write the condition. Condition is nothing but you have to be tell to your loop where it has to be stop. Normally it will be increment. It will increment, but you have to be tell where it has to be stop. Suppose you are not writing the condition to stop, then it will enter into a infinite loop. Okay, infinite loop. I will show that. Suppose my condition, suppose I want to print it for 10 types. Okay, I plus plus. We already said that it is an increment operator, right? It was increment operator I plus plus. Simply, right? One condition. This one. I values what it becomes is first I start with the 0. Hello print. I becomes I increment, right? We are using what type of increment? Post increment. That means execution of the statement after I value will increment. So I becomes 1 to the next execution, I becomes 2, I becomes 3, I becomes 4, I becomes 5, I becomes 6, I becomes 7, I becomes 8, I becomes 9, I becomes 10. When I becomes 10, checking this condition. Every time it will check the condition. When I is 1, when I is 2, always check the condition. This condition true only, this loop will be execute. This condition false, the loop not execute. I is 10, 10 greater than 10 less than 10. This condition true or false? So this loop not execute, it come out. It will come out. I can tell to you. I'll simply printing the I values also. Okay. That is the beauty of for loop. By traversing, you can accessing the values. Okay. You have to be understand the things also. When you have to be use the for loop, when you have to be use the while loop. Mainly for loop you can use. You know the iteration count. That means how many times you can iterate. You know the thing. Then for loop is the best option. You know, you don't know the about iteration count, but you know the condition. But you know the condition where you have to be stopped. Then while loop is the best option. Okay. Sometimes one scenario while loop can be executed, for loop can be executed. Okay. In some scenarios. I can run this. It will print hello 0, hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, hello 5, hello 6, hello 7. Suppose if I place like I equals to 1, how many times it will print? 9 times only. Why? Because 0 to 9, then it will become 10. 0 to 10, that means 0 to, suppose if I take it as a 1, then it will be 9. Why? Because when I becomes 10, the loop not execute. Fine.
Greater than is equals to.
What it print? Hello 0, hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, hello 5, hello 6, hello 7, hello 8, hello 9. When I becomes 10, it will be out of the loop, not execute. Okay, not execute. This is the for loop of execution. This is the way for loop can be executed. You can mention, suppose if I mention the I equals to 1, I less than or equals to 10, I less than or equals to 10, then what will be my output?
Hello.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10.
10. Why? Because this condition is also true. When I is 10, okay? Condition is also important. Suppose I value is 1, but it will not incrementing the I value to the 2. Why? Because we are using the post increment. So in that scenario, it will increment after the execution of the particular statement completed. I value. Fine. That means in the first iteration I value has to be 1. For the entire first iteration I value has to be only 1. In the second iteration I becomes 2, like that, iterations values. Fine. I can run this again. You can get till to the hello 10, right? Fine. I want to print 1 to 10 natural numbers. What I have to do?
System.
In before also I doing like that only, right?
Yeah.
In before also I am doing like that, but in front of the value I am just placing the one text hello.
The first item.
Simply you can use sysout of I, then it will print 1 to 10 numbers, right? 1 to 10 numbers. Fine. Suppose you want to print 1 to 100, then okay, 1 to 100. Suppose you want to print 100 to 1, 100 to 1, then your I value start with 100. Why? Because this is the first I value, right? In before what it becomes I values from 1 to 100, but now you have to be print 100 to 1. So your value start with 100 till where you have to be print 0, right? Then I greater than 0. Here what we have to do? Every time I value needs to be decrement. So you can use the decrement operator. Okay. Suppose you want to print in a single line, then what you have to do?
Print.
Use the print. Add some space after the printing. Okay. Then it will easily understand. Okay, 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 97, like that. Suppose in a scenario, tell me one thing. I want to print all even numbers between 100 to 10. Suppose, before going to that, tell me one thing. If I use I greater than 100 here, okay, then what will be my output?
100 also.
Suppose if I do like this here, suppose if I print like this, what will be my output? First I value is 100, right? This condition is true or false? This condition is true or false? False, right? So this loop not execute. That means it will not print anything. Okay? It will not print anything. Suppose in a scenario, what will be my output? What will be my output? Okay. Now
Only one statement will be executed.
This condition never fails. Why? Because I start with 100. Always I values decrementing, right? I becomes 99, I becomes 98, I becomes 97, I becomes 96, I becomes 99. That means I becomes 0, I becomes minus 1, I becomes minus 2. Always it was less than 100, right? So this condition never fails. Then it will enter into the infinite loop, right? In a loopings, the major drawback or you have to be understand is it will enter into a infinite loop. This infinite loop never will be end. It will be end when your heap memory will be exhausted. Exhausted is nothing but when your heap memory will be filled, then it will stop the execution. Okay, it will come out of the with the error of heap out of memory. Okay, so check with the infinite loop. When you are using the loopings, the condition is the main thing you have to be understand. Okay, I hope understand the incrementing and the decrementing printing the natural numbers. Now suppose I want to print 0 to 100 even numbers. If you want to print 0 to 100, first when you are facing one question, you have to be segregate it into the steps. My question is, you have to be print 0 to 100 even numbers. First thing is you have to be print between 0 to 100. That means your loop is between 0 to 100. So I less than or equals to 100. This is my loop and I have to be increment. If you are not performing increment, it will again goes to the infinite loop. Why? Because 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, always it will be less than 100, right? So in that scenario, fine. My case is you have to be print only even numbers. How can you check a number is even? If I modulus 2, I only the number, right, every time. If I modulus 2 equals to 0, then print. Okay, then print. Right? 0, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 100. I can print in another way also. Why? Because I is 0, in before 1 will be increment. Now what I will do? 2 increment. 0 plus 2, 2, 4, 6, 7. Every time I am incrementing the 2. It is like a step count. It is like a step count. Okay? Then also the same, right? Same output. Tell me one thing. I'll doing the two approaches. One was before comparison. Using the one if statement, I'll do it. And also this way I can do it. Which is the better approach according to you? Previous one or this one?
Previous one.
Why the previous one is a better approach according to you?
Exact value.
According to me, this is the best approach. Why? Because my aim is what? I want to print only even numbers, right? In before what I do? How many times I can run that loop? In before 100 times, right? 0 to 100. 100 times I am, or 101 times I am running that loop. But how many times it will be execute? 50 times or 51 times. Okay? Based on the I starting value. That means 50 iterations are the useless, right? In the 101 iterations, only my output is from 51 iterations. 50 iterations are my useless things. If I do like this, how many iterations I can get? 51 iterations. All are the useful iterations only, right? By this I can save the time. Okay? This is the best approach, right? You have
Value start with one. Index value start with
if the one start with 1,
it's become odd number.
so then it will print odd values. So based on the, suppose then you have to be start with a 2. Okay. Suppose if you are placed with a 1, then it has to be print
Odd.
odd values in between 1 to 100. Okay, in between 100 to 100. Suppose you want to print 3 multiples of 3. Okay, 3, 6, 9, 12. Then what you have to be do? What you have to do? In before, you can do like a if of I modulus 3 equals to 0, then print, or else what you have to do? Plus 3. Every multiple has 3 multiple means the difference between every multiple value will be 3, right? So you can easily do in the way. What it will do? It will print till 99, I think. Why? Because 99 is the multiple of 3, right? Right. Multiple of 3. Fine. These are the basic statements. You all know the divide, what we calling is factors. You know the number, suppose I have a number of int num equals to 12. What are the factors of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12, right? These are the factors of 12. How can you tell? 1 is divisible by 12. 1 is divisible by 12. The remainder is
12.
12 is divisible by 1, 0. These all are divisible by 12, right? That means 12 by 1 is 0, 12 by 2 is 0. That means remainder. I am talking about the remainder. 12 by 3, that means 12 modulus 3 equals to 0. 12 modulus 4 equals to 0. 12 modulus 6 equals to 0. Like the way 12 modulus 12 also 0. Remainder is 0. That means these numbers are exactly divisible the 12. So I can tell that these are all the factors. These are all the factors, right? But how to check in every number? How to check for the every number?
The number is divisible. And the
My condition is, or my requirement is, I want to find factors of a number. I want to find factors of a number. How?
the remainder will be 0.
All the factors lies between 1 to the number, right or wrong? Right? All the factors lies between 1 to 12. Suppose I have to find 13 factors. Highest factor is 13 only, right? So the factors lies between 1 to that number what you have to be checked. So till to that you can every number 1 is factor. Okay. So 1 and less than or equals to
12.
suppose I am changing my number 12 to the 13, then 13. So in place of the exact values what you have to do? Variable. Okay. Here you can read the dynamic values. The num you can read the dynamic values. SC dot next int all the things. Num. And what you have to do? Plus incrementing every time. I becomes I values from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 till to the number. Okay, right? Till to the number. And what you have to check? It is multiple of that number or not. Okay? How can you check? If num modulus I equals to 0. Why? Because I am checking 12 modulus 1, 0 or not. 12 modulus 2, 0 or not. 12 modulus 3, 0 or not. 12 modulus 4, 0 or not. 12 modulus 6, 0 or not. 12 modulus 12, 0 or not. Or 12 modulus 5, 0 or not. I value is changing, but you are checking with the number. Okay, that means here 12. Suppose what the 12 becomes 13, what the 12 becomes 15. So always you have to be write a program which is executable for all the values. Okay, then what you have to do, print I or num. I, right? I is the only factor value. I1, suppose I is 1. You are checking num modulus 1 equals 0. If this is true means I is a factor. If this is not true, I is not factor, right? So you have to be checked with the I. Okay. Fine. Suppose I can change a number to the 15. What will be the factors of 15? 1, 3, 5, 15. 1, 3, 5, 15. One, 3, 5, 15, right? So when I given a task, you have to be read numbers dynamically. The logic is the same. Okay. Here what I am doing, I am printing the all the factors, but my intent is I have to count the how many factors it has. I have to count how many factors the number has. Okay. For that what I have to do, I have to maintain one variable to maintain the count. Fine. Count equals to 0. This condition is true means what I have to do, count needs to be increment. This condition is true means I found one factor, so I have to be increment the count, right? After the execution of the for loop, you can print the count. Sorry. What is the count? 4. 4 factors only, right? So count is the, why? Because we are writing here print, right? So because of that it will be in a boost. Okay. By this you have to be do one task of check a number is prime or not. Okay. I tell the entire code also. How can you tell a number is prime? It has only, suppose 5 is prime or not? 5 is prime or not?
Yes, sir.
7 is prime or not? 9?
Not prime.
Why?
It will multiple by 3 also.
A prime number is nothing but it has only 2 factors, 1 and itself. Okay. I think in the first class we will learn prime numbers as the first chapter in the first class. Prime number is a number is divisible by 1 and itself, then it is called as a prime number. Okay. That means only it has 2 factors of the count. Only it has a factor count of 2, right? I tell to how to find the factors and also I tell count of the factors. Simply here I am just printing the count, right? In place of that what you have to do, you can check if count equals to 0, if count equals to 2, it is a prime, else not a prime. Simple, right? This count value defines how many factors it has. This is only you can do, you can comment it. Then you can find easily, right? You have to find how many factors a number. If the factor count is greater than 2, then it is not a prime number. If factors count is only 2, then it is a prime number, right? That's fine. How many minutes? Yeah, on for loop. Find a factorial of a number. I can tell you have to count sum of 10 natural numbers. Okay, sum of 10 natural numbers program. Okay, sum of 10 natural numbers. How can you do? Right or wrong? Sum of 10 natural numbers means what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. That only, right? That only. This means I am writing simply shorthand operator. Instead of that, what you have to write? Sum plus equals to X. Sum is initially 0. In the first iteration, 0 plus 1. Sum value becomes 1. Right? Next I becomes 2, right? Sum value is 1 in before 1. So 1 plus 2, sum becomes 3, right? Next iteration I becomes 3. In place sum value is already 3. 3 plus 3, sum becomes 6. Right? Next I becomes 4. Then sum becomes 6 plus 4, 10. Next I becomes 5. 10 plus 5, 15. Like that. Sum of 10 natural numbers value, I think 55. I'm print anything. Okay, I'll do one thing. Every iteration I can print the sum value. In the every iteration I can print sum value plus iteration count. Iteration count I can print. Iteration plus 1. Okay, sum in the iteration another 1. I is nothing but iteration count I can define by using that. B. Okay. Sorry. B. Okay. First sum value is 1. At that moment I value is also 1. That means it was in the first iteration. Okay. And 1 plus 2 is the 3. Okay. See like this. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. 21 plus 15 plus 6, 21. 21 plus 7, 28. 28 plus 8, 36. 36 plus 9, 45. 45 plus 10, 55. Right? This is the iteration and the value. Okay, fine. That is the now what you have to do is find the factorial of a number. Suppose I want to check for the factorial value of int num equals to 5. I want to check for the factorial value of 5. Factorial is nothing but 1 to that number. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. That is the factorial of 5. If you want to find 6 factorial value, 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6. Simply what you have to do? Here what you have to place? The number which you have to find the factorial value, right? And here what you have to place? Multiplication, right? 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. And the sum value you have to be take it as initially.
Initially 1, sir.
If you are take it as a 0,
Some value will be
0
0.
into anything 0. So what you have to do?
1.
Take it as a 1.
1 into anything.
1 into anything 1. 1 into anything that value.
1 into 5, 5.
Suppose I take it here as a 1, right? 1 into I. Here I am doing 1 into I. 1 into 1,
1.
1. It will be stored in sum. Again I becomes a 2. Sum has a 1. 1 into 2, 2. Again I becomes a 3. 2 into 3, 6. Again I becomes a 4. 4 into, already it has a 6, right? 6 into 4, 24. 24 into 5, 120. Right? Every time we are manipulating the variable values. By this what you have to do is, when you are dealing with the loops, take a pen and paper. You have to be iterate in the first iteration what is the value of that variable, in the second iteration what it would be. You have to be write it down, then only you can understand the loops well. Okay? Anything. Okay, this is enough. You can do like this. And nested loops, one thing is there. Nested loops I can tell after the completion of the while loop. In the tomorrow session. The tomorrow session I can tell the nested loop concept. Okay? It's up to today. It's fine. Fine. It's up to today. Thank you.